All right, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting edition of New School Republic Wrestling Podcast. I am co-host Brandon Petrie. We got
Yeah, somebody, I don't know.
we got Chris Schultz right here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to talk about this week in wrestling for the week of May 23rd, 2016. And oh man, what a week it was!
A little crazy.
A little crazy coming off the heels of WWE's pay-per-view Extreme Rules 2016. It was pretty good, actually. Not gonna lie. So,
Cool.
actually, from what I heard, I didn't watch it. I started a job on Monday.
You
so
liar.
I'm sorry, I haven't watched it yet. I heard good things.
Well, I mean, I don't watch it, so I don't know.
You don't watch it at all.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The only thing you watch the network on is like Starrcade, whatever the hell.
Yep, that's about it. That's all you're getting out of me. Definitely. I think what we should talk about is the releases. I guess
Right.
Those are pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean, the Brooklyn Brawler.
What? Okay. What did he do? Honestly,
I don't know.
you just fired him because he was old. Pretty much, it's pretty much what you did.
I guess. I mean,
That's no like he got. I mean, hard times, Daddy. You know, he was given a cheap gold watch, kicking on a butt, and said, "Hey, Daddy, our computer took your job."
I mean, he's probably been there since what 82, 83.
Oh yeah, long time.
A little bit less than Howard Finkel probably. So I mean, all that money hopefully saved, invested. But yeah, that's a good run. That's enough, I guess.
Yeah. We're SmackDown. We're also live on Periscope. John Lennon 9 asks, "Can't wait for SmackDown Live on July 19th." I know that's another big thing that happened. I guess we can just talk about that right now.
Sure. Let's get down to this nonsense of a draft.
Yeah, the draft is silly. I mean, because like even if you're a big sports guy, this is not a draft. I don't even know what you would call it, but it's cool though. I'll give you that.
I mean, is there really enough guys even do it? Is there,
Man, I don't know.
That's my biggest question. It doesn't seem like there's enough. Because, like, on paper, it looks like there is, but then when you actually look on their roster pages and you dig deep into it, then you realize, well, but once again, is this another way to use the NXT people? Are they going to dig a lot of them out of there? And then what's left of NXT then? Then everybody on the internet will be like, oh, no. So.
John Lennon 9, his Twitter, because he's on the Periscope's Twitter thing. Mm-hmm. John Lennon 9 said those NXT guys need those NXT guys promoted. I agree. Not all of them, but like a good majority of them. I don't think Ty Dillinger's ready, but he's awesome. I think Apollo Crews needs another platform. See, I hate saying this because it's kind of demeaning, but SmackDown's like a B show.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But, like, why can't they go up and down? Why can't they fluctuate,
Well, I think you could use, if you want to fill up some roster there, I mean, you could take, 10, 15 NXT guys and put them on both of them.
Right.
And you'll evenly distribute it. Everybody keeps talking about that Finn Balor guy, so I'm sure he's going to go to one of them.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the Bullet Club. And, like, I understand, like AJ's out of that picture now, but he's, like, going to come back. It's going to be, like, a huge swerve.
Well, they could have a big feud with those two if they wanted to.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's some other people from NXT. I don't know if they're going to take Samoa Joe out of there, but, I mean, he could.
Man, I don't know. I think you got to get Joe. Joe's ready. I mean, you should take Joe out of the oven now.
What's like robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of situation where, like, you take...
I don't know.
5 or 10 NXT guys and you put them on, like, Raw and SmackDown.
What's left
of NXT,
Or John Lennon 9. Or AJ versus Finn Balor can happen. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that'd be sweet to see, too. But with... Joe's done. I mean, like, when I say Joe's done, he should be on national TV now. I mean, like, for sure. I mean, like, he had a great... He went to NXT for the same reason, why Nakamura's in NXT. First of all, get used to the style, introduce yourself to this brand new audience, and make yourself appear to look like a monster. He's all those things now. He's so ready right now. I mean, he's where he should have been in TNA.
Yeah.
And now he can finally, be reintroduced to everyone on national TV again.
I think they'll throw him on SmackDown if they do the draft. Just because AJ Styles is on Raw, and it seems like a lot of the other guys are on Raw as well. Well, I mean, probably will be on Raw. It's hard to tell yet, though.
Yeah, I'm talking about Joe. Joe's like ready to be on national TV now.
I think so.
Right. And I'll tell you what, yeah, if SmackDown's the B show, it could be like the minor league, but you know, that's the thing though, man. Wrestling isn't cyclical, you know. It has its peaks and valleys, you know. The guys at the top have to come back down so they can, you know, have another run, you know, on their way to the top again, you know.
Well, is this Sami Zayn guy, is he still in this NXT, or did they put him on something?
I think they actually, like, moved him to the main roster.
Okay.
Right. I mean, it wasn't like this big fanfare. I think they just sort of did it.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see who they're going to... I mean, if they're going to just make them... I think they should make both shows equal. I mean, to me, that would make sense. But, I mean, it always... Every time I hear brand split, I think of you failed with WCW. That's what first comes to mind.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
I mean, that's what that was supposed to be. And ECW, too, to an extent. I mean,
we'll go out and we'll say ECW.
Yeah. I mean, instead of doing this whole Raw, SmackDown, NXT, it should be WCW, ECW, and WWE.
Yeah, that should definitely be.
I mean, that's the point where it should be at right now. But
John Lennon 9, The Alliance. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, remember that mess? That was a disaster. Remember Mike Awesome, how they misused him? Oh my gosh. What a waste. What a waste. We did one show, me and Tyler, about the whole invasion. We'll do some more. We're actually going to, upcoming shows, we're going to talk about how we're going to rebook everything.
And how many guys did they have come out of ECW? One.
Yeah.
Punk. Maybe Morrison. Exactly. Maybe Morrison.
And that thing could have been as high as NXT is now.
Yeah, it could have been.
I mean,
they chose not. They chose for it not to be.
And I mean, NXT on a small margin, but I'm surprised they didn't put Adam Pearce on NXT. I really am. Even though he's a trainer, right. I really thought they put him on NXT. That's another guy where it's like just independent legend to a degree. I mean, he's great.
Yeah.
I thought he would. I really was surprised TNA didn't pick him up. That was just mind-boggling.
Well, again, those are all, that's all TNA, you know. I think that, I mean, the greatest diva, we're never going to see the greatest diva on TV. I can't believe I said that. How many times did I say diva? I owe like a charity, like $2 or something. The greatest women's wrestler of the 2000s, you're never going to get to see on TV. Sarah Del Rey. And she did a fantastic job of training the women's wrestlers now.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. That was all her.
And it's great. And it's like, you know, it's a tragedy that a lot of these guys just don't get their time. You know? They really don't. I mean, they do and they don't. I mean, they don't get on a national scale like they should.
Well, I think everyone can do something, though. Mm-hmm. Because as Sarah Del Rey trained them physically in WWE, Dutch Mantel wrote for them in TNA. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a give and take right there. You just got to do what you can.
So with the draft, do you think it's going to be like a Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon nonsense again, like watching it like 10 years ago, where it was like Stephanie and, you know, Eric Bischoff, Paul Heyman, all that stupid crap? Are we going to get the same kind of thing where it's always the McMahons?
I think...
I'm surprised there's still fans watching this.
Well, Shane's like a face now. I don't think he's going to do anything to be a bad guy now. But I think Stephanie's still going to be the heel because she doesn't know what else to do.
Who's the GM of Raw?
They both are.
They both are. So are they just going to have a brand split and one just goes to SmackDown?
Right.
Or are they just going to have those two feuded out while they bring somebody else in for SmackDown?
I think they're going to feud at one point because they're pretty okay now, but at some point, like, all right, someone's got to go to SmackDown, and that's when something's going to happen in a pay-per-view.
It's interesting, like, where NXT falls in all this, because they're kind of like the feeder system, technically. So it's like, you know, the draft, I mean, they're a big part of it, too. Mm-hmm. And you think they'll do this live on Raw? Will they do it live on SmackDown? Will they do, like, you know, a co-branded show where it's all
They'll probably have, like, a week.
Yeah.
You know, they'll probably, like, they'll split it up in multiple nights. Because don't forget, they're, like, back-to-back now. Mm-hmm. So Raw is going to be on Monday. SmackDown's going to be on Tuesdays. So probably like one night they're gonna have like 10 picks, and like the other night they're gonna have another 10 picks or something. I
mean, even when they did this years ago and they said the roster was so huge, it really wasn't. Like, if you look at it, like SmackDown barely had like 22 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's really nothing like dramatic. If any time they could have did a roster split, would have been like 98. They had like 70 or 80 guys on the roster. They definitely had the talent to do it. But
it just sounds cool. That's all it is.
It's something different. It's buzz. It's, you know, trying to get, you know, fans interested again, I guess. But
it's going to make more champions.
It will, and that's another question too. Are they going to bring back the world title? Are they going to make a new title for SmackDown, or are they just going to have the world champion just flow from both ones? You know, both shows. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, unless they do something completely different. Not necessarily. You can't have it a world heavyweight title. You can't have a WWE championship.
Is it going to be too much again, though? Are they going to do all those pay-per-views again? Are we going to get...
I think that I think they're pretty good on like audience attendance now.
Because that was brutal. Like back in like 2004 or 5, having to watch this stupid... I didn't really watch them. One time we were going to like watch Bad Blood 04, I think, and it was just like the roster was so bad on Raw. Like it just wasn't good.
Well, no one was endearing back then.
Yeah.
But you got to think, you have like New Day now, you have Zayn now, you have Owens now.
There's a
Ziggler
lot of talent.
to an extent. People still like Ryder, Cesaro.
Because there's what, like...
People love the Boo Reigns, regardless of whether or not you like him. People just like to hate on him. So you got that.
They should make him a heel. I don't know why they don't do that.
I don't know. But I think they're just biding their time with that.
Yeah. I mean, really, with this draft, it's going to be... interesting to see where they place everybody. I mean, there's enough guys that there'll be main event talent on both shows. I mean, there's enough, I think, right now.
Right.
Just from what I gather. And I don't even watch the show. That's the funny part about all this. I never watch the show. But what's interesting on Facebook, I get all the information I need.
Yeah.
I just see posts and, like, reviews. Okay, that's fine. I can follow.
So I saw one where it could have been, like, it was a potential... it was a draft list. It was, like, who was going to go where. And I was like, obviously, that's not set in stone. But it's like, okay, I can see where they're going with this, you know?
And I think the biggest mistake when they did the original draft was breaking up the successful tag teams, like the Hardys, the Dudleys, and the Acolytes.
I think they're going to do that again, though.
Why, though? What's the point?
They're idiots.
Yeah,
they don't know what they're doing.
There truly is no point. And remember that? They just reunited everybody anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they just put the Acolytes back together and the Hardys and Dudleys back together. So it was kind of stupid.
It was very stupid.
I mean, it just didn't make any sense.
And they don't have a lot of tag teams now.
No, and you can't... It couldn't come at a worse time for the tag teams because... Like you said, there really isn't that many, and to split them up would be even worse.
Right.
I think tag teams should go together on a draft, because I think they did sort of. I mean, Billy and Chuck did on the initial draft, but there wasn't too many after that. They split up most of the other tag teams.
No, right.
They put a lot of crappy makeshift tag teams together, and it was just horrible.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, no one was good. I mean, it's like now it's like pretty fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to think like even like the Usos. I mean, like 5 years ago when they were like the only tag team, they were pretty good. But now they're just like okay, they're pretty good wrestlers, but they don't really have that charisma.
Yeah,
but like if you have a tag team and you're still pretty good, but you still have like the Vaudevillains, Enzo and Cass, New Day, you got people who can work tag teams like Cesaro and Zayn. You know, you're fine. I mean, your tag division is fine. You also have one of my favorite tag teams. You got American Alpha coming up, and the summer or fall. That's gonna be huge. That's gonna be so big. They are so fun to watch. Well, Jason Jordan, world champion.
Well, there's like 3 or 4 tag teams in NXT too, so there's a lot of.
You got the Hype Bros, yeah.
You got the Dudleys and that up there.
Not in NXT.
No, just like in WWE.
The Dudleys too.
So you gotta get enough tag teams to make this work. I mean, back in 2001,
the revival can come up. Why not?
Yeah.
If Sheamus got a world title shot and won, if he had not a shot, or he had a run, if he had a run with the heavyweight title, you could definitely bring up the revival.
I agree.
See what they do on national TV.
I mean, like at the end of 2001 into the 2002 draft, there really wasn't that many tag teams though. I mean, there was just like 3 or 4. I mean, Edge and Christian I think split up at that time, so it really didn't. They were kind of like, picking straws with tag teams, I guess. But
right. I think the only problem with this is like NXT is going to be pretty depleted.
That's the thing. Like, how many guys are they going to take away from that?
Right.
I mean, and that's the problem with NXT. Like, in order to keep that fan base satisfied, they have to keep plucking away from TNA, Japan, and other countries as well.
Right.
Other promotions. Yeah. But here's the thing too. Like, when you're talking about this draft, do you think it'll be a roster of like 20, like they did originally, 22, or you think they're going to be 30 on each show? I mean, they probably could get to 30 by they taking a lot of NXT guys.
Right. Yeah.
But the only thing I have a problem with this draft is like. They'll do a draft, but then they'll start switching people anyway, and then they'll just bring people up. So it gets confusing and stupid. Because that's what happened in the original draft. They just randomly would switch people around or do stupid trades, and it was kind of dumb. So, I mean, I think, honestly, like, just once you do the draft, keep it pretty solid for almost a year. I mean, you can debut new people, but don't do the trades and all the hokey, unexplained storylines. That's what I thought kind of ruined that to begin with.
I agree. I agree.
But I
Because
mean,
even though like everyone now is pretty information savvy, you can send like updates online. People can like always check out the network like even on their phones and stuff.
yeah.
Look, you got to make a big deal about a trade. Honestly, when a couple years ago when the Pirates traded away Jason Bay, and like I'm always gonna keep relating this to a real sport.
Yeah.
I hate saying that, but like
Oh yeah, non-choreographed sport.
yeah, a non-choreographed sport. Um, and like in something like that, when you had like a star player, and Manny Ramirez was involved in that trade too.
Mm-hmm.
When you have like a big trade like that was big news. Like everyone knew that happened. You gotta have to do the same thing in WWE and Raw and SmackDown and NXT. Actually, why don't you send some Raw and SmackDown guys down to NXT? Why can't NXT compete?
Well, that's the thing too, and like do you use them as like a almost bilateral thing where like NXT can steal Raw or SmackDown guys too,
They should.
like ECW did, or should you have like?
If anything, they should get the first pick.
Well, here's the thing too. Do you do a tournament in NXT to see who gets the first two like spots on Raw or SmackDown? So the winner of the tournament, the winner gets his choice of Raw or SmackDown. The loser goes to whatever the winner doesn't pick. Do you do something like that?
Fair enough. Yeah.
You could do, and you could really hype it up. But it just depends how they want to play this out. And I don't know how they're going to play it out because I really haven't been watching. So
They also have the Global Cruiserweight series coming up.
and to me that's the same thing as like TNA used to do with the World Cup kind of thing, just a little bit different. Except TNA is not doing that, which I once again
Why? Stop.
I know it just goes.
The league they did was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The what was that? The world champion. What was that called?
I don't even remember.
With like the different pools of people.
Yeah, wasn't that the World Cup or whatever? X Cup.
No,
It was probably something else.
it was almost like a championship series.
Oh yeah, oh gosh, that was like the Bound for Glory series thing.
Yeah,
There was that one.
there was that one, but there was also they had like this huge one. So they had like the previous champions, the knockouts.
Oh yeah, they did it for the world title thing, and that all culminated with Hardy and EC3 or whatever. And that
Yeah,
was a
like
mess.
world title series.
Yeah,
or something?
it was like right after Bound for Glory because like for some reason Matt Hardy put up the title. I don't know.
Yeah.
It all goes back to mass confusion with TNA, but it's hard to be a fan. It's hard for me to watch at times. It's getting a lot better, but once again, things like that screw it up. But yeah, that was a cool idea. But
I bet you they're kicking themselves now for releasing those guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a mistake, I think.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing with TNA is like with that whole series, it was something that could have been leading to a pay-per-view instead of after the pay-per-view. And they just have great ideas that make no sense when they use them and they put them into play. I mean, but back to their X Cup, that was their staple thing. Why aren't they doing that? If they want these fans back and they're trying to regain that fan base, why are you not appealing to them with that? WWE is just easily just pawning off their stars. They're easily taking a concept that kind of Ring of Honor established by an underground, grassroots type of promotion.
Mm-hmm. They finally learned from ECW.
Yes, so they're taking a little bit of everything and they're just using everybody's talent, and then they're doing this global cruiserweight series, which to me is just a little bit different from the X Cup, but the same kind of concept where it's like a tournament. I think.
Right.
Once again, I feel like TNA just runs in circles with stuff, but. I still haven't seen Robert Roode debut though. I don't think he's in NXT.
Yeah, no. What's up with that?
I don't know.
I think they're going to hold off on him. He could be
so.
again, but he can be a surprise draft pick. He may not even go to NXT. Who knows?
It's fine with me if he goes to Raw.
Better tune in.
Yeah, I mean that's the sad thing though. Like TNA had all the opportunities to make him just better, and they still didn't do it. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's very frustrating at times with that product, but I think they lost probably about half their audience, if not more, 2/3 probably. People always stand by it, but still, it's got a long way to go, and I just feel like they're just trying to get there, but I just don't ever think they will.
The TNA army.
Yeah, I just
stop defending TNA, guys. Sorry, just stop. It's not even worth your time.
I mean, they did it to themselves. I mean, I still like the product, but it's got such a long way to go, and I feel like at this point we shouldn't be at this point. We should be so much higher and better than we are.
I agree.
But
100%.
With this draft, I mean, are they going to break up groups? Are they going to break up tag teams? I mean, there's a good chance for debuts. I mean, that'd be great. Like Robert Roode would debut. They'd pick him to SmackDown or Raw. But I don't want like SmackDown to be that second tier garbage again. I want that to be, if it's going live and it's on Tuesday nights, then it needs to be like just as good as Raw. They need
Yeah.
to make it just as important as Raw. So like don't make it like Thunder and Nitro kind of thing.
I think the writers have to step up too.
Yeah, I think you need to get rid of probably a lot of the writers. You don't need all these teams and all that crap.
You can flush. You can
Yeah.
flush them out. I think you do need the teams, but like the writers have to work with the wrestlers because the wrestlers can't constantly pitch ideas to the writers and the writers not listen. You can't have that.
I know. It seems like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're just worlds apart for what they want to do and achieve.
Yeah.
But as far as the draft, is there any picks that you would have for like a Raw? If you let's just say it's equal ground.
Well, you want me to draft for Raw and you draft for SmackDown?
See, I don't know if I could because I just honestly I don't even know who's there. So like, if you want to do both, or we could do this episode just for Raw.
I'll tell you what. I'll just pick whoever I want for SmackDown.
Okay.
All right.
So you gonna start with Raw?
You can start with Raw.
So that means me or you?
You start picking for Raw.
I'm just gonna start picking for Raw. Well, I have to actually find this roster because I don't even know who's there. That's as bad as I go.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna grab my phone too. I'm gonna see
if we're gonna do this like a live pick sort of thing. I really don't watch the shows. I just don't care anymore about this product. But I figured this was relevant enough to talk about it, just because.
Right. Hey, bro, what's going on? We also have Phil joining us.
All right.
On Periscope. Yeah, you know what? This is just kind of a spur of the moment kind of deal. Sorry, Phil.
I hit Superstars and they don't really show up. Let's see. Oh, here we go. They have like a little bit different. All right. So if I'm picking Monday Night Raw, current Superstars, I would have to say AJ Styles first.
Oh wow. Okay.
Just because I'm TNA kind of guy. It's a really sloppy like page here they have. This is probably worse than TNA.
It's taken me to I clicked on the roster and it's taken me to a Sargento cheese ad.
Yeah, isn't that something?
And I can't skip it.
So maybe we'll pick.
It's like 45 seconds long.
I guess would you do like a maybe top 10 pick so we don't bore everybody? I guess.
Well, I was thinking just 5.
Okay, 5's good.
Okay, so you picked AJ Styles.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go with.
I just look at this one guy and I just laugh. Connor, look at this. The way this guy looks.
The Ascension. They're
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
Remember I talked about that and like Jason looked at me like I had worms crawling on my ears. I'm like, yeah, you don't name someone who looks like that Connor after like a preschool child.
No, you don't.
My goodness, people, let's wake up.
I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens actually.
Okay. The second pick I would have to be. I'm going to say. I'm just looking through everybody here. There's a lot of people, a lot more than I thought there'd be. Let's take a look.
Phil, you want to draft for NXT? Phil, draft for NXT.
Phil's going to draft for NXT. Looking at everything
And
here.
we'll announce his pick. So we got AJ Styles. We got Kevin Owens off the board.
One of our friends, Phil's going to draft for NXT.
That's if he does it. I hope he gets this in time.
If he doesn't, he's a liar.
Come on, Phil. Come on, Phil. Show us some love, brother.
We're just waiting here. If he doesn't draft, then we'll...
Hope he didn't leave.
He left. He got sick of us.
We'll give you a minute. But, looking through this roster now, like, it's manageable. You can do it for sure.
Well, I'll pick a second Raw pick. I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar.
Thanks for giving Phil the minute.
No problem. Got to keep this going here.
Okay.
Can't bore people.
I'm taking a tag team.
Okay.
But I'm reaching down deep. I want American Alpha.
Okay, well, there you go. Back to Raw. I'm going to pick.
Joseph invited 10 people, so that's where we're gonna get all this spam. We're gonna get a ton of spam on Periscope now.
Great spam.
Fantastic.
Time. I'm gonna pick Bray Wyatt, I think.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll give you the Wyatt family on that.
Okay, the whole Wyatt family. Okay.
I'll give you the whole Wyatt family on that.
We're not gonna break them up.
I need another world champion. I need Reigns.
Okay.
I need Reigns, but if I'm gonna have him, back connection on Phil can't do it because he has a back connection on his end. Sorry, Phil. I'm gonna take Reigns because I need a former I need a former world heavyweight champion. NSR Wrestling's our podcast.
Okay. So you're picking Reigns.
That's all it is. Josek 13. That's all it is. It's our podcast. Welcome to it. We're recording a show right now. Hence the microphone right there. So we got AJ Styles, Kevin Owens,
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. I said American Alpha.
The Wyatt family.
Wyatt family. And Reigns.
Okay. Next pick, I would have to pick. I'm looking here. I think I'm going to pick Zack Ryder. And I'm actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do something with Zack Ryder.
Okay, good.
I'm going to. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Josek 13. Pick Booker T.
Why?
No, absolutely not. Not picking a commentator.
I mean, Booker T. Booker T hasn't been in his prime since like 2000, maybe.
Right.
I mean, even when he came from WCW.
Taz is better than Booker T. Hands down. Who'd you say?
Just recently.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder, and you're going to do something with him.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to change his gimmick up.
Okay.
If I would have fantasy wrestling type of thing.
Again, I'm going to go deep on this one. I want Neville.
Okay. My last pick is going to be. I think I'm going to pick this big Cass guy. And I'm gonna break him off from that other guy.
You're gonna break up Enzo and Cass? Wow, yeah. He's gonna break up Enzo and Cass, and he's taking Cass.
Yeah, because Enzo doesn't need Cass, and vice versa. You gotta do something different with Cass. So that's my 5 picks.
I'm going to go with one of the most over stables in WWE in this millennium. I'm gonna go with New Day. Phil says you can't do that. He just did it. So where does that put Enzo?
I would probably just I put him on SmackDown or something. The tag team isn't going to work, and I'll explain.
So I'm getting Enzo.
Yeah, you get Enzo. It's the Enzo.
Money in the bank, brother. Money's in the boot, brother.
It just Enzo doesn't really need Cass and vice versa. From what I've seen, like here's what I'm explaining.
Joseph would take Rey Mysterio. Good call.
There you go.
Senior, I hope.
When I watch the I'm on YouTube and I see a lot of these like videos and stuff, I'll watch this Enzo guy, and he's better off just by himself because Cass brings nothing to him. It's just there's no point.
So why would you take Cass?
Exactly, cause I'm gonna do something with him because Enzo's hogging all the spotlight in his time.
Oh,
you're seeing it, so like you're gonna do something different with him.
Fair enough. I'll take the realest guy in the room. I'm okay with that.
And here's what I would probably do. I'd probably have him feud with the Wyatt family, or I'd have Zack Ryder feud with the Wyatt family. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to revamp their gimmicks. So
that's a very interesting 5-person.
Yeah.
Actually, we drafted 6. So you said Styles.
Brock Lesnar, the Wyatt family, Cass, and Zack Ryder.
I said Owens, Reigns, not in order. Owens, Reigns, New Day, American Alpha, and Neville. And I'm taking Enzo.
And then
by default.
Okay, by default. If I take an extra person, I'm going to take... well, this guy isn't here anymore, so let me see. I'm going to take just one extra person. I'm going to take The Undertaker, I think.
Taking Taker. Taking Santa Claus.
Taking Santa Claus, and I'll probably...
Works one night a year, man.
Yeah. I will take Santa Claus. So that's our draft picks for now.
Wait, how'd you get one more though?
Well, if you said you got Enzo, then
I got Enzo by default.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, fine. All right.
So that's our draft picks right now. But here's a question too. Now we were talking earlier about releases. There was Zeb Coulter's gone. The little midget guy's gone.
And because he's in wrestling, I think you could say midget.
Yeah, that's fine.
If he wasn't in wrestling, that'd be totally asinine of you. So don't say that.
Yeah. Well.
Hornswoggle.
Whatever his name is, El Torito, whatever.
Yeah, El Torito's gone. He's gonna do fine though.
Yeah.
Those guys are gonna do fine.
What? Wade Barrett's gone.
Wade Barrett's gone. He left. Ryback's on his way out. Cody Rhodes left.
Who's the other guy? There was Wade Barrett. There was somebody else that left. The other guy they were talking about, Bad News Barrett. No, I'm sorry, that is Barrett. Duh. There was the other guy left too.
Rhodes?
No, he used to wear the beard. He was like the real smart guy.
He got released.
Yeah.
Damien Sandow.
Okay, he's another one. So you think, and also the guy Adam Rose, he's gone too. He released because it
That's
was a
right.
drug situation.
Well, if I was like TNA or Ring of Honor, I would not want Adam
Yeah.
Rose. I mean, that's got to be like you got to do some serious PR work with that guy.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, remember when he was the Victor guy, Victor or something? He was like that bounty hunter guy or whatever. I don't know, something in NXT. I watched it on the ESPN episode showing like behind the scenes. And I'm watching him, and he's so unbelievable with his gimmick.
Well, that was so. Well, if he's a bounty hunter, he's not a bounty hunter.
Well, whatever he was, you look at his baby blue eyes. He looks like the boy next door's. You know.
I did like that the party animal kind of thing. You know.
It just wasn't
and
done right.
The rosebuds were pretty cool. I like the rosebuds.
It like wasn't done right though. I mean, if you would have did something where it's like you put him and like Kofi Kingston together, and like Kofi's the pothead, and he's like the party dude. You know, you call him Throwback or something real weird. But see, that's like an ECW tag team that would have flourished. But anyway,
yeah.
When I saw him as the bounty hunter guy or whatever, it just was so unbelievable. So, but I mean, to me, that would have been a guy you call up and have him go against the Wyatt family because he's a bounty hunter. He's coming for them.
When are they coming back?
The Wyatt family? No
yeah.
idea. Didn't even know they were gone, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they were gone. They just came back for that one little appearance at Mania.
But even, I mean, the roster's pretty big here, but I don't really know if it's big enough for a draft, to be honest with you, because a lot of the guys they even have on here don't wrestle all year, so there's really no point. But NXT, I mean, they don't really even have the NXT roster on here. They have just some of their champions. That's about it.
No, yeah, but I think like the NXT guys fluctuate.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, so I mean, I think the plan here is probably to use a lot more NXT guys. So. Does NXT have its own roster here you can look at?
They should. Maybe try like WWE.com/NXT.
Yeah. Geez, William Regal looks old.
Yeah, it's like you think he's 50 or something.
Well, I don't think he is that old yet.
Yeah, we're doing an audio podcast. We can't really have lulls in the conversation.
Yeah, there's no, I don't know. It doesn't really say anything. But Triple H, he's looking old too. All the stuff he probably took. Holy smokes.
Yeah. But you also got to think like NXT, they have the Hype Brothers, they have the Revival, they have Ty Dillinger. And that's if they're going to use NXT guys.
Well, I mean, you have Austin Aries and some other guys that are ready, I think. Eric Young. I mean,
yeah.
You know, if they bring Rude in, he can just go wherever. So there's definitely like, I mean,
and the women too.
Yeah.
We didn't draft any women.
Well, I mean, that's a question too. They did that in the original draft, so we could even draft women, I suppose.
Right, but you would want like a someone like Charlotte or Bayley or Sasha. Those are my three favorites, so not in order.
Well, here's a question too: the guys that were released, who will you think like Global Force? They're already capitalizing on one of them.
The Global Force is capitalizing on Sandow, so he's gonna face the match they have him booked him is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Damien Sandow versus Colt Cabana.
That's gonna be great. I'd pay to see that.
Wow, guys, great job. I mean, like really solid booking. I'm not being sarcastic. I mean, you are really delivering with that. I just hope we get to see that, and it's just not going to be like 50 people in the audience is gonna see that.
I know, and the thing I'm starting to realize with Global Force is, it's going to take a long time before they get TV, if they get TV at all. They might be like a Netflix exclusive kind of thing or something like that. Maybe they should do a thing where they go on the High Spots network and do that for a while, Have shows on the High Spots network. I don't know. Just something to show that they actually, they're actually somewhere doing something.
Or even like buy an episode for $5. And advertise the heck out of it. Have advertisers on the show, but sell the show yourself. Put it on iTunes. Yeah,
I mean that's what they might have to do. Just do like the way they did TNA for a while,
right?
The pay-per-views.
Because the longer we get away from those tapings, man, the less relevant it's going to be, and it's going to be all for naught.
Exactly. I mean, because a lot of those guys aren't there anymore anyway. So it's,
right.
It reminds me of XWF all over again. That they had a set of TV tapings, they were ready for them, and then everybody went to WWE, and that was pretty much it. So we'll see how that goes. But, I mean, your opinion, though, is it a good time to do the draft? Is it necessary or no?
I think so, because it's just something different.
Yeah.
You kind of need to shake up the rosters. I don't want to say you have a lot of guys coming back from injury, So it'd be nice to see, have that, shaken up, make everything like fresh as you can. This isn't like a ploy to like, to keep things new, to keep things original. You're not gonna like beat a dead horse for ideas and then all of a sudden blow it all up.
Mm-hmm.
You're blowing it all up now so you can do something fresh and original.
Mm-hmm.
And get some creative juices flowing.
That's good then.
Yeah, that's what I think. So now's like a perfect time. You have a lot of guys coming back from injury. This is the greatest time to do it.
Exactly. Well, I'm Chris.
Oh, that's gonna be it?
That's it, yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, that's Chris. I'm Petrie. That was New School Republic Radio. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, New School Republic, NSR, NS Republic. You can check out our website, newschoolrepublic.com. Guys, it's going to be awesome. That's where you're going to find all our podcasts, all our videos. Don't forget, we got Living with a Luchador. We're going to start filming that at some point over the summer. It should be ready by the fall. It's going to be a great time. Guys, you do not want to miss Living with a Luchador.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic. That's pretty much all I want to say. Pretty much.
Sounds good to me, man.
All right. So, hey, you keep watching wrestling.